Is North Korean leader Kim Jong-un about to head abroad for the first time in nearly 4.5 years? The indications are that it's very possible, with dormant alliances being cemented anew and with the associated dangers of old battle lines being redrawn. Reports suggest Kim Jong-un could head to Russia as soon as next week. The initial story emerged in the New York Times Monday, citing unidentified American and Allied officials and claiming that Kim may soon travel by armored train to Vladivostok to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. That's where they held talks in April 2019, the last time the North Korean leader ventured outside of his home country, having also met US President Donald Trump in Vietnam in February of that year. Of course, since then we saw the collapse of denuclearization dialogue and the outbreak of a certain pandemic, neither of which would have encouraged travel by Kim. So, why would he be meeting Putin now? Reportedly, they'll both be at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok from September 10th to 13th. A delegation of some 20 North Korean officials apparently went there late last month, potentially to establish security protocols. And the real motivator here seems to be discussing an arms deal, a subject of great interest to the US in recent months. A spokesperson for the White House National Security Council declined to confirm directly the report when asked, but did tell Yonhap news agency that arms negotiations between Russia and North Korea are actively advancing, while adding that the US has information that Kim Jong-un expects these discussions to continue, to include leader-level diplomatic engagement in Russia. A key moment building up to this potential Kim-Putin summit was Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu's trip to Pyongyang in July. The US spokesperson said a second group of Russian officials had again traveled to North Korea following Shoigu for follow-on discussions about potential arms deals. And we've also been told by the US side that Kim and Putin may have been discussing such deals in letters to each other. The major American concern with all this is that any arms deal between North Korea and Russia would violate UN Security Council resolutions. Given that North Korea and Russia are already operating under sanctions, it's not clear how much risk is actually involved for them, but there is clearly much to gain. For one, it would signal a boost for North Korea's regional alliances alongside its China relationship to counterbalance the recently strengthened trilateral cooperation between South Korea, the US, and Japan. For instance, we've also found out that Russia proposed conducting three-way naval exercises with North Korea and China when Shoigu met Kim Jong-un in July. South Korea's intelligence agency was quoted as saying as much Monday, before Shoigu himself was later quoted by Russian media as saying that joint exercises with North Korea are under discussion. Specifically on the Russia front, North Korea might also gain advanced technology, as it has failed this year in efforts to launch a spy satellite for the first time, not to mention other areas of interest like nuclear-powered submarines. In exchange, the North could provide weapons for Russia's war with Ukraine. We might get an indication of this growing three-way alliance between Pyongyang, Moscow, and Beijing when and if Chinese and Russian delegations attend North Korea's expected military parade this weekend, just as they did earlier this summer.